Welcome back on Inocom TV, and thank you so much for following us. My name is Innocent. Today, we're so glad and happy that we have a young man, very intellectual, in the studio. Today, we're going to be sharing a lot and a beautiful presentation that I think every young person that came from Africa needs most. Before we go further, let me ask him to introduce himself.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to be back on the studio because I've been here before. Yeah, it's always amazing to be with you, to be with somebody who is very smart, and I'm always ready to learn from the best people over there. My name is Tito William Titus. Wherever you feel is the best name to call me. For me, I will not care what name you choose to call me. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be over here.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too. We have a big problem in this society that we live in, whereby most people that came from Africa and came to Western countries fear to go back in Africa for some reasons, of course. And this is the reason that I think we need to articulate, we need to talk about, because no matter how we can fear going back in Africa, still it's home. And if we can all fear going back in Africa, so to whom shall we leave home with? To whom shall we leave Africa to? Still, it's our home. So this is the lesson that we're going to be discussing about, and of course, seeing these problems and see how we can still go about this. So, what do you think about people? Of course, when we discuss outside there, when we hang out with friends, you hear them all fearing going back in Africa. So, what do you think as a young person that came from Africa, and I'm very sure you love Africa as well?
So what you mean? What do I think about what?
According to, do you also have that fear to go back in Africa, or why do most people fear to go back in Africa?
Okay, according to me, I don't know if this is how anybody else out there thinks, but for me, I want to put it this way, right? When you have been through something really bad, and then you get to escape it, you will never wish to go back to live the same life again, right?
Yep.
So as young children, as young men, young women over there, we lived a very terrible life in Africa, right?
Of wars, hate, poverty,
all those kind of stuff. Some of us, we used to sleep without eating. Going to school was very terrible for us. Farming, all that. Do you know how it feels for 10-year-old to farm?
I start going and dig.
All that's very terrible. So if you get the opportunity to escape all of that and then come and live in a better life, you're not gonna wish to go back over there again. So I don't know if you understand it, but you don't want to go back to live that terrible life again when you have escaped it already.
Well, I understand you, but again, in Africa we used to go and dig and do some other ridiculous work. But again, also here, it's almost the same thing. You in the company from morning up to evening, and some other people sleep there. So maybe the difference is that the other side you can almost stay in the garden a week, a month, a season, and at the end you get nothing. But here, some dollars are coming, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I don't think that this will be the reason of fearing to go back in Africa, like most young people do.
First of all, we are not fearing to go back to Africa. The problem is this, right? We have so many opportunities where we are currently living right now than if we are living in Africa. I can even give you an example though.
Mm.
There are some people who finished the school, like they got all the qualifications, they got all the diplomas, they got all the degrees, but they are jobless. But it's very tough. It's not easy to have all the qualifications in America and then be jobless. You get it? Also in America, it don't matter if you have school or it don't matter if you went to school or not.
You still get a job.
You can still get a job or find ways to make a this life. But in Africa, bro, it's tough. You understand? So we have more opportunities here in Western countries than back in our home. You get it? I don't know what you can add on that, but that's what I think.
Mr. Titus, I really understand you very well.
Mm-hmm.
Here, there are a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
And these opportunities were created by people.
Mm-hmm.
And so in Africa, still I think we can still fix these opportunities.
Yes.
For example, like we who came here, we can still make some companies there. We can still make some good organization there. We can still make a lot of stuff there that can, of course, now produce opportunities and employment to people, and still people will get jobs. But still people are not willing to go and put those projects there because they still have that kind of fear in
Okay,
there.
stop over there. I need something to add over there. You know, there are some wars going on in Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example,
Exactly.
in Congo, got wars going over there.
Mm.
And you know we are from Congo, right?
Yeah.
If I'm to start a project or start a company, I will more likely start in Congo. But guess what? War is over there. What is going on over there? And do you know what happens when the war is going in certain place? Things get destroyed. So if I'm a wise person, why should I go start a business or a company to the area where where war is going on and it's more likely will be destroyed. It's more likely to be destroyed. Why should I do that? That's stupid thinking, right?
I understand that. So war takes a big comes as a big problem
Yes.
in Africa.
Yeah.
And so what I think it is now, we, wherever, no matter where you're coming from in Africa, to sit and discuss the problem of the wars.
Yes.
So that if we change this, we can live a prosperous life.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Okay, one more thing is this, yeah. Like, we have relatives who have stayed in those countries, right? But they also crave to come in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if those people in Africa craving to come in America, it means there is no better over there.
Exactly.
Because if there was better over there, they won't be craving to come in America. So if a young kid or in America wants to go in Africa, and then there's somebody in Africa craving to come in America, do you think that kid will be interested to go over there?
Definitely, we not, but and that's why we bring such kind of discussions so that people may get back the interest of Africa. Now, the point you brought is good. I don't disagree with all other people in Africa coming back here. I don't disagree with that. But now, when we come here, let's try to learn something. Because I am believing that people who came here can now do something back home because they have learned, they have seen, and they have got. They have.
No, I already told you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There is war going on over there. So if war is still going on over there, people will less likely invest in those countries. Why? If they do that, things will be more likely to be destroyed. As a good investor, why should you invest in an area where there's no peace? That's ridiculous, though.
That's so ridiculous.
So for us who are living abroad to have the idea of investing in those countries, first of all, for them over there, they need to find out how they can stop those wars and have a peaceful area, have peaceful country, so that they can motivate us to go invest in those areas.
Well, that's a good idea, and I think wars can be solved by people, right?
Yes, yeah.
So it is the matter of all of us coming together. We agree, understand things together, and we can stop these wars.
Yes.
So we of course call everyone outside there, no matter where you came from, no matter who you are, but you're coming from Africa, we should come together and see how to solve all these wars. Well, we have another issue, Mr. Titus,
Okay.
which is xenophobia. These Western countries that we come in use this as a great tool to make all the Africans who come here, more especially these young people who came here when they were still young, to show them, to teach them that Africa is evil. I will give you an example. One lady of recent that went back to Africa, in South Africa, and it was her first time, of course. But when she now got exposed to the city of South Africa and some other cities, she was like she couldn't believe what she's seeing. She's seeing a lot of developments. She's seeing a lot of skyscrapers in good cars, good roads, good industries in South Africa, and she was like, when we are in USA, we are not exposed to all these. Actually, she was like, they tell us Africa, it is just like the bush only, you see,
Or animals.
or the home of animals only. You see, so now this has made all the younger people growing feeling that Africa is really evil.
Okay.
So what do you talk about that?
Look, people believe what
They see, exactly.
So what you are shown is what you believe.
Exactly.
And
more special those who are still young.
especially those who are young. And in West countries, America, Europe, all that, they do not advertise Africa as a great nation.
Exactly.
Look, if you look in America, there's so much bullshit going on over there. Homeless people.
Exactly.
So many shootings going over there. There are some areas where you can see like, wow, this area is really bad. But they do not advertise that. Why? They will be showing a bad image to the entire world. So what they do, they take videos of those big cities in New York or Las Vegas, or a nice, beautiful areas only.
Exactly.
And that's what they publish.
Yeah.
And also when they take photos, they make sure the photos are very nice.
Very nice, right.
And then when it comes to Africa, they take those kids who are hungry, those kids who are lacking food, those kids who looks really very bad, they're dressed very bad. Right. They take those photos and then they put them on the internet. So a kid who is living a good life in America will be like, wow, this is Africa. This is how kids are suffering over there. Exactly. But remember, we have big cities out there, have kids who are living a good life, right? But when white people go over there, they will go in those small villages where they are struggling, and they take photos of those kids who are in poverty, who are very hungry.
Talk about that.
And then they publish it on the internet. And remember, the internet is controlled by who? The Westerners. Of course. And then those kids who are in America, they will say, oh, these kids hungry. Exactly. And one more thing, I've seen this shit, right? If you go on Google and Google Congo, do you know and then you go to images. Do you know what they will show you?
They only bring images of dead people.
They will show you kids with guns.
Exactly.
They will show you only soldiers who are in labors.
Exactly. So they won't show you the good part of it.
They will not show you good parts.
By the way,
look, each country has a beautiful part and a bad part. Even in America, they have good parts and bad parts. Africa, they have good parts and they have bad parts. That's normal. But the Westerners, they advertise Africa as a bad nation. That's how simple. That's why they're not willing to go over there, because they know if they get there, they go over there, they will struggle. Exactly.
Yeah. Mr. Titus, there is also we as Africans, something that we planted in ourselves. We cannot even we ourselves post something good about Africa. we need to post. You find guys are posting these poor children with big abdomen.
Undressed.
Yes. Why? Because they need some donations. You see, but I don't think. This is of course that mentality that we are really poor, we really need something, but I don't think this is the way how it should be. If you really need donations, it does not necessarily showing your nakedness that because you need $1. This is, I don't know how you get that.
You know, I have read this thing in one of this book I read. It says some people they put those kind of images so that they can get money for their own benefits.
Exactly.
For example, I go to Africa, I take those photos, and then I post them on the internet, and I go, oh, this kid they need help, you can donate.
Exactly.
So when the person who donates, we think that he is helping that poor kid.
Exactly.
That money is going to go
to individuals.
That's why a lot of people do that. But it's not benefiting those kids, benefiting us. But I'm not gonna go against those people. There's some people who will do it, but for a good reason. But I don't have so much to add on that.
Well, my stand is there is a generation that is coming after us. What will this generation see or hear about Africa? Yet we are only talking evil about Africa. We are only showing evil about Africa. This generation that is coming after us, it's like we only planting fear in them, right?
You know,
so it's something that we need to address.
It is something we need to address. But it will take time.
Yes, I know it will take time.
Because from now on, the thing we need to do is to start telling our own stories.
Yes.
Because
I believe
our stories have been told by foreigners for a very long time. And they have been telling the wrong story.
Exactly.
Not the real story. So our parents need to come out there and be like, oh, this is what we know. This is where we're from. This is how the area that we have been living for those many years. And then young children will catch up and they will start learning about Africa. And then they'll have the pride again to be African. Because a lot of kids, they're not proud to be African, I'm telling you.
Exactly. So, Ms. Titus, as we look forward to conclude, there is also the issue of hate and the tribalism back home, right? This is not, of course, some causes why some young people don't want to go back home in Africa. Sometimes it is external and internal problems.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the hate and tribalism. Of course, here a very good example, it can be DRC Congo and Rwanda, and we can talk about Somalia and her neighbor. This you find that there are most people who are speaking the same language. There's people of the same black color. There are people they share they share culture, they share norms and totems and so many others. So what do you talk about this?
Okay, first of all, any country that have so many tribes, they're on the good. You can look at the Congo, there are so many tribes out there. Are they doing good? No. But, Tanzania, the former Tanzania president, John Pombe Magufuli once said, there are so many tribes in Tanzania. But guess what? They chose to be one tribe.
Exactly.
Tanzania.
Talk about USA here.
Tanzania. And guess what? They were doing good. So if those tribes decide to be one, I'm like, oh, exactly. I'm not this, I'm not that. I am African. And be a one African tribe. We can do good. I know it's gonna take a lot of time, it's gonna be good.
I understand that.
So if we choose to be a one tribe of African tribe, I believe we'll do better. But it's very tough. It'll be hard.
I really understand that.
Because if you look in America too, we have so many tribes. We have black people, have white people, have Mexican, have this. But when you get the American citizenship, you'll be like, oh, I'm American.
I'm American.
When you say you're American, it means you're in the right side.
Exactly.
But Africa is completely different. If you choose to be one African, we can do wonders for Africa.
Thank you so much. As we conclude, we saying this has been a ridiculous topic about why most people have it in mind of not going back in Africa. That this mentality, and this is a great war that me and you, we should fight. It's been great to have Mr. Titus talking about this kind of great topic. I hope if you want to join us, please, you can put it in the comment section and we can have you next time as we brainstorm about Africa and also other social issues. Thank you so much. Subscribe, share to friends as well. See you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Great.